Welcome. Shivsena MP, UPT Shivsena MP, Priyanka Chaturvedi, she raised a valid point in the parliament questioning the judicial overreach and the NCERT textbook. Listen to her first and then let's discuss what are our concerns actually. First, what she said in the parliament, just listen to this. I'm showing these videos from the La Chakra YouTube channel. Only Priyanka Chaturvedi's clips only that I am showing here with the crediting La Chakra YouTube channel.
Which I think is judicial overreach and judicial dictatorship, sir. A Chief Justice of India.
So that's one thing what she said. It's a dictatorship of the judicial overreach. You might have heard what she said. And again what she said.
निर्णय आया था एक एनसीईआरटी की टेक्स्ट बुक थी जहां पे जुडिशियल करप्शन के बारे में चर्चा हो रही थी। मैं समझ सकती हूँ जुडिशरी को इससे तकलीफ हुई होगी क्योंकि उनको सिंगल आउट किया था, तो उस पर एक डिसीजन हुआ कि उसका ब्लैंकेट बैन लगना चाहिए। वहां तक हमें लगता है कि हाँ ठीक हुआ। अगर जुडिशरी को लगा वो सिंगल आउट हो रहे हैं वो निर्णय, लेकिन कंट्रोवर्सी यहाँ बिल्कुल खत्म नहीं हुई अभी।
So that you have seen the second clip what she said. This is third clip.
फिर से जो हमारे ऑनरेबल एंड विद ऑल ड्यू रिस्पेक्ट टू द सुप्रीम कोर्ट ऑफ इंडिया एंड आवर जुडिशियल प्रोसेस एंड आवर जुडिशरी, सीजीआई लेड बेंच ने फिर से कहा कि जो एकेडमिक्स है जिन्होंने ये चैप्टर लिखा है उन पे कार्रवाई करते हुए ये कहा कि कोई भी रोल जहां पे एकेडमिक्स का इस्तेमाल होता है या कोई भी पब्लिक फंडेड इंस्टीट्यूशन होता है या सरकारी इंस्टीट्यूशन होता है, प्रोफेसर माइकल डेनिनो और दो एकेडमिक्स का कोई भी रोल नहीं होना चाहिए, कोई भी स्थान नहीं होना चाहिए, which I think is judicial overreach and judicial dictatorship, sir. सर दूसरी अब सिर्फ यही,
it's very clear that she is arguing that it is a judicial overreach and judicial dictatorship of interfering in the textbook content. That's what she said, right? So Priyanka Chaturvedi of this UPT Shivsena, what is her actual concern? Why she is saying that it is a judicial overreach and judicial intervention of the NCERT textbook? Let's go inside and see what are her arguments. First of all, she is arguing that protecting the factual history of what are the different document facts should be historically fact that actually should be included in the academic integrity, included in the academic essential records. That's what actually she's trying to say, that history should be based on documented facts. It's not political propaganda. That's what she tried to say, that authentic historical records are essential for including a chapter in the academic textbooks. That's what Priyanka Chaturvedi, she tried to say that. She also mentioned about WhatsApp history which are created in the WhatsApp. They're taking that as a narration. They're taking as a historical facts and they're including in the textbooks. WhatsApp history, the history which was created and rewritten in the WhatsApp, that is going into the textbooks, right? Misinformation in social media, that is appearing in the academic textbooks. That's what she tried to say. Freedom struggle legacy we need to protect. Quit India movement, anti-colonial struggles involved many leaders, groups. It's not just a few selected figures which are closely associated with the specific political party. It's a group of leaders who fought for the independence of India. Quit India movement, anti-colonial struggle. It's not by anyone, not by one or two, which are closely associated with the political parties. It's a group of Indians who fought, who went to jail. That we need to keep as it is, what happened exactly in the textbooks. Plural narratives, you can, different theories, different ideologies, different arguments, you can project as a theory 1, theory 2, theory 3, but you cannot remove one theory and keep the other theory. That's most dangerous. If I say, for example, Darwin theory, the Darwin theory might be having different versions. Darwin proposed some theory, there is other person who opposed that Darwin theory, and then both has to be included in the academic textbooks to teach the students that generally all the academic textbooks chapters, they will project both. Some people say the Darwin theory says like that. So, but at the end they say that there are some scientists who opposed Charles Darwin. That also there. Same like different ideologies, religions, regions, the oppositions, narrations, plural narratives. If at all authentic narratives, authentic arguments with factual arguments, then both has to be included in the textbook. It's not that removing one textbook and including only one ideological content in the textbook. That's what Priyanka Chaturvedi, maybe she meant in talking about this in the parliament. Parliamentary responsibility. Parliament should debate historical interpretations openly. You should not avoid such topics. Lawmakers shape national memory through educational policies. Textbook changes. School curricula and a textbook should not be rewritten to suit current political ideology. Millions of students rely on not on the parliament speeches, not on the political speeches, on the textbook, historical textbooks which will be taught in the colleges and schools. That is, most students rely on them, not on the political speeches. If you rewrite the history based on the political ideology and political speeches, the students will be misguided 100%. Academic freedom we need to protect. Historians and scholars must be free to research, interpret history without political pressure. There should not be any political pressure that one historian is proposing a theory and then there should not be pressure on him. Let him propose. If he proves, any proposal has to be proved before it becomes a law. Any theory has to be proved to become a law, right? Theories might be 100. Even Charles Darwin's is just a theory, it is not a law. Newton's became a law. Charles Darwin's evolution theory is a theory. It remained as a theory because it's unproved that man derived from monkey. Charles Darwin proposed that man derived from monkey. That just became a theory. It remained as theory. It did not become a law. So theory also need to have some valid and a good content to be taught to the students. That's what I want to say. National identity, it should depend on the truthful history, not on the distorted nationalism, distorted political narrations, manipulated political ideologies should not be in the textbooks. So selective glorification, it's also most dangerous that some historical figures, selective glorification, while minimizing the others' credibility and others' contribution to the country. That's another most dangerous thing to the students who wanted to understand exactly the history of India. Generational misinformation, we have to protect these generations from this misinformation, incomplete, incorrect historical understanding. If you don't control these plural narratives, intentional narratives in the textbooks. Democracy requires always a debate. Government narrative is legitimate. Role of opposition voices in the parliament must be allowed to speak or debate on this. Opposition have right to question power. As an opposition MP, of course, even Priyanka Chaturvedi, she has a right to speak, so she raised her concern there and in the parliament. As her constitutional role, she did it. Okay. Maybe these are all the reasons that she's raising that. Of course, in the speech, she's talking about judicial overreach of intervening in the textbook content because the judicial intervention to remove that particular chapter from the NCERT textbook. So that actually she was questioning in the parliament. But that's a direct, these are all the indirect reasons maybe why she's interested in raising that point. Of course, as an opposition MP, she's an opposition party, so she has power to raise that question. Evidence-based education need to be protected. Archives, documents, and research. Ideology. It's not ideological storytelling. Should be archives and documents and research-oriented chapters need to be introduced in the textbooks. Academic institutions and educational boards, we must trust in them. If government rewrite history of politics, you are losing the previous educational institutions and educational boards. That means that we are mistrusting them. Finally, we should encourage historical literacy, read real history instead of social media forwards and all. That's what I wanted to suggest to the audience. After, of course, Priyanka Chaturvedi, she did not talk all these things. She was referring about the judicial overreach of the textbook content. Thank you, Namaskar.